While Cowboys defensive end Micah Parsons is still attending training camp for Dallas, he and the organization have yet to agree to a new deal. And according to reports, the two are further apart on a deal now than they were in early April. For the latest at Cowboys Camp, we send it out to our crew in Oxnard, California.
Haley Sutton and two-time Super Bowl champ Bryant B-Mac McFadden out in Oxnard, California, where the Dallas Cowboys just wrapped up their practice for the day. I mean, B-Mac, we saw it all. We saw high intensity out on the field. We saw head coach Brian Schottenheimer pause things and make the guys run a little bit for disciplinary reasons. What was your big takeaway from today?
Just the offense, man, the efficiency in which they worked today, especially in the red zone. The red zone was the theme of the day in terms of situational football, and Dak Prescott was slicing and dicing, right? We saw George Pickens score a touchdown. We saw CeeDee Lamb score 2 touchdowns. Jake Ferguson scored a touchdown as well. And I think that's something that we need to grow accustomed to expecting to see when you look at the individual talent they have on the offensive side. And I can tell you this much in terms of a disclaimer. Both wide receivers in George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb will have 1,000 yards at the bare minimum, in my opinion, especially if they have a clean bill of health on the offensive side.
That is certainly music to Cowboys fans' ears when you think about those wide receivers and their potential. So we'll keep our eye on that. The offense, guys, shaping up quite nicely. It is the defense that we still have some questions about, some injuries. Still no extension for Micah Parsons, although he is out here and he is participating on the sideline. So all things we will keep our eye on as this team gets set for their opening game against the Philadelphia Eagles in September. For Bryant B-Mac McFadden, I'm Haley Sutton for CBS Sports.
Thanks so much, Haley. A couple of injury updates from Cowboys camp. Left tackle Tyler Guyton is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks after an MRI revealed a bone fracture in his knee. Guard Rob Jones broke a bone in his neck in Sunday's practice. He's going to miss 2 to 3 months. The secondary also a bit thin right now. Cornerback Kalen Carson will also miss 4 to 6 weeks after hyperextending his knee. Trayvon Diggs and Josh Butler are both on the PUP list as they work their way back from knee surgeries. Time now to bring in Sportsline analyst Larry Hartstein and Emory Hunt. And B-Mac enjoyed what he saw from the Cowboys offense on Wednesday. But Emory, when you think about all the injuries that we've already discussed on both sides of the ball, where do you have more question marks?
Interior defensive line. I have no issues with the Cowboys and their ability to score from anywhere with anybody. Can they stop the run? That's what stopped them last year, and it has stopped them the last couple of seasons. I know they invested a lot of money in there by drafting Mozzie Smith in the first round. I hope he can become the run stuffer that they expected him to be when they drafted him 2 seasons ago, and they're a little bit banged up on the inside. So they're going to have to figure out a way to stop the run. If they can't do that, facing a Saquon Barkley, facing a newly refound run game with the New York Giants, facing a running game in quotations with Jayden Daniels in Washington, that's going to be the problem. So it's about them stopping the run more so than anything else going out there in Big D.
I'm actually more worried about their ability to stop the pass, Emory, because Trayvon Diggs is not ready, will not be ready for opening day. We'll see when he can come back from his 2nd straight season-ending knee injury. Jordan Lewis signed with the Jaguars. That's 2 of your starting 3 corners. You still have Deron Bland, but you see the injuries, Andrew Booth, Kalen Carson, Josh Butler, even their rookie 3rd-rounder, Savone Revel. He's not ready to go. He's rehabbing. You might be starting Kyer Elam, and I don't know who the 3rd corner would be at this point. For a team that gave up the 2nd most points in the NFL. Only the Panthers had a worse defense last year, so I am very concerned about that defense.
Yeah, the defense is definitely something they're going to have a lot of eyes on. A lot of people hoping the Cowboys go far this year, but the defense is not up to par. You don't know what's going to happen. Now, what is your best futures bet on the Cowboys this season, Larry?
Dak Prescott to have a monster season, over 26.5 passing touchdowns, over 38.75 passing yards, because as B-Mac talked about, the weapons are some of the best in football with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, who's in a contract here, so I expect him to play motivated, focused football for a full season. Then you have Jake Ferguson. You have a pretty lackluster run game, and you have a defense that's going to be giving up 25 to 30 points a game. So that means big yards, big numbers from Dak Prescott. Now, this might be a coincidence, but every odd-numbered year, Dak Prescott has played at least 16 games, and he's put up monster numbers, as you can see in 2023. And you go back 2021, 2019, also monster numbers. So let's hope that trend continues in 2025.
Yeah, and listen, if they're going to get better defensively as the season goes on, to parlay with what you talked about, Larry, about the offense, I like the Cowboys to make the playoffs at plus 194. I think because of the offense being what it is with Dak Prescott and two legit number one options at receiver, the number one tight end, the run game is going to be a compliment. But if they're scoring 30 to 35 points a game, and as the season goes on, you get more and more pieces back healthy on defense, then you may have a chance on the back end. I think because the NFC tends to be a little bit more up in the air as opposed to what we know about the AFC, I like the Cowboys to get that 6 or 7 seed in the postseason.
All right, very interested to see how those bets play out. Emory Hunt, Larry Hartstein, always a sure bet with you guys.